COVID-19, or coronavirus, has had a huge impact on all of our lives. The UK government placed the country on lockdown, with people only permitted to leave their homes to get food, for health reasons, and to work, if it was not possible for them to do this remotely. Alongside this lockdown, guidance has been put in place for companies and employees to follow. This includes hygiene best practice, physical distancing, and recommendations for those who are vulnerable. In this video, we will briefly explain how we at Cemex in the UK have implemented this guidance and adapted our operations to meet the challenges posed by the pandemic. What has Cemex done in the UK? The UK government have been very clear that construction should continue where it is safe to do so, because it is essential work. Alok Sharma, Secretary of State for Business, Energy and Industrial Strategy, has thanked construction workers for their commitment and recognised the industry's critical contribution to the resilience of the nation. The materials we provide are used for infrastructure around the country, many of which are vital to the efforts of the medical services and others as they fight this pandemic. For instance, roads, repairs to buildings, and the creation of new facilities, such as the Nightingale hospitals. We are supporting the economy to ensure that there is funding available in the future for things such as healthcare, policing, and education. Cemex is therefore still operating and able to provide a full service via a reduced network. Many of our sites have remained open. We have assisted with important UK construction projects throughout the pandemic, including working with Network Rail and Highways England. Andrew Haynes, Chief Executive of Network Rail, thanked us for our commitment to supporting a safe, resilient and sustainable rail network. We should all be really proud of this effort. A rapid response team for the UK has been set up and meets at 9 a.m. every morning to discuss the latest developments of the pandemic and how we need to react to them. Daily updates are then provided to all employees. All decisions about ongoing operations have been carefully considered by the RRT, with safety always the top priority. Throughout this crisis, we have taken care to follow government guidelines to the letter, to ensure both the safety of our staff and the continuation of our business. New health and safety measures and procedures have been implemented to protect the health of employees, contractors, customers and visitors to our sites. These have been developed directly from public health guidelines and follow the latest safe operating procedure from the Construction Leadership Council. They make it clear that where work cannot be undertaken safely, it should not take place. Let's look together at some of these guidelines and how they have been applied to our people, facilities and equipment and processes. People. Sites that have seen a considerable decline in demand have closed, with employees whose workload has also decreased placed on furlough. All other employees who can work remotely are doing so, and our main offices have been closed. Restrictions have been placed on travel, with only essential journeys permitted. Our more vulnerable employees are being supported by their managers and HR. A process for reporting suspected and confirmed cases of coronavirus is in place, so all employees know what to do if members of their team are absent, and what to do when they return to work. For those who continue to work at our sites, personal control measures have been implemented: physical distancing, keeping a 2-meter distance from other people at all times, hygiene measures, disinfection routines, and masks and visors as required. Changes have been made to meetings, with online methods used as far as possible. Visitor inductions have been adapted to ensure physical distancing can be maintained. Steps have been implemented to maintain supplies of hand sanitizer and washing equipment, with Cemex now manufacturing sanitizer in the UK and Germany. For our drivers, IHCs and mobile equipment operators, we have reviewed dispatch and delivery processes, prioritised a one-person, one-vehicle approach where possible, and encouraged them to remain in the cab while at customer sites. Our drivers and employees know that should they encounter any situation where public health guidelines are not being followed, then they can refuse to serve or deliver to a customer and will be supported by their line manager. All deliveries must be made safely. Many teams have suggested and implemented excellent best practice ideas, such as the installation of perspex screens and floor tape used to delineate 2-metre standoffs in offices, weighbridges and corridors. We welcome these ideas and appreciate the commitment of all of our staff to ensuring guidelines are followed. We are also aware that these unprecedented times have an impact on our mental health, and as such, a free employee assistance program is available for all. We encourage all managers to hold regular, virtual one-to-one meetings with their team. Facilities and equipment. In addition, a series of measures have been implemented to ensure facilities and equipment are safe for our staff. This includes restrictions to access and pre-authorizations for visitors. Barriers and floor markings can be found in our locations across the country to enforce physical distancing. Increased cleaning and disinfection regimes are in place, particularly for equipment, touch points and communal areas. Sanitisation stations added at site offices, welfare areas and hub offices. Risk assessments in production areas have been revised with a focus on methods of work, authorisations, permit to work and close and effective supervision. Processes. Finally, we have looked closely at our processes to ensure they align with the specific legislation in the UK and Cemex practices at all times. We are working to provide ongoing communication in a variety of visual methods, including posters, good practice guides and online SharePoint resources. We are developing coronavirus-related checklists and inspection schemes that all our sites can follow. PPE arrangements are regularly assessed to ensure adequate provision, maintenance and replacement. We're in close contact with contractors and our customers, vetting contractor COVID-19 controls, reviewing their method statements and ensuring suitable site inductions and supervision are in place to maintain all necessary precautions. We'll continue to adapt the measures implemented, taking on board further best practice ideas, any changes to government guidelines, and the latest advice from industry. In line with the site operating procedures from the CLC, effective monitoring and ongoing review of arrangements is vital to ensure our staff remain safe. What will happen next? We are seeing more construction projects resuming and other parties in the industry starting to work again. However, we foresee many of these activities discussed in this video will need to be maintained for most of this year as precautionary measures to keep everyone safe while we continue operations. The measures we have introduced are best practices which we should effectively implement now and in the future, as this will change the way we work, even as the situation improves and sites begin to reopen. Effective leadership is essential to ensure the success of these measures, not only from managers and supervisors, but from each of us individually. Our first safety essential, look after yourself, look after each other, remains as relevant as ever. As the situation stabilises, this provides us with more opportunities to help those in our local communities. For instance, providing PPE to healthcare services, as teams across the country have done. The safety of our staff will always be our #1 priority, and we will continue to keep our employees updated as the situation develops. Please contact the RRT at any time if you have any concerns or ideas. Thank you all for your ongoing dedication and commitment to Cemex.